wide receiver from Florida, Home Squad Sports.
This is Jacob Harris, and shout out to Home Squad Sports.
Hey, it's Jake Brenningsul with Home Squad Sports.
This is Seth Hennigan here with Home Squad Sports.
All right, Home Squad Sports. Thanks for everyone that's been hopping in there on all our platforms there, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, wherever you're catching us. Just appreciate it here. We got a special guest. We're going to bring him on in just a second. Someone we got to meet last year there at Elite 11 in Ohio, someone I've grown really fond of and really big fan of and got a really bright future. Our buddy, our quarterback buddy, Jason Wright out of Richmond. Shout out, Jason, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
No, man, we're just happy to have you on, man. Gotta give you a quick round of applause. It's crazy to see you. Only known you for not even a year yet. Just came across you, man, and just really crazy to see, how far you came and where you're going. And, the book is just getting started on you, man, and just wanted to catch up and just, talk all things ball. But, how you been doing, buddy?
I've been good. I early enrolled, and I'm already up here in Buffalo. So just getting adjusted.
Man.
Yes, sir.
He's up in Buffalo already. I was wondering. Now we got Jameer Scott, who's our buddy out in Cincy. He's already up in Wisconsin, and with all the new rules and stuff, you being a high school guy coming in, you got transfer portal, and anytime you can get a leg up, it's always good to get on campus and get the grinding, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you started any workouts with any of the guys yet, or have you just waiting to get settled in?
We have. I'm still, settling in. I've only been here a couple of weeks, but as far as everything, I'm still getting settled in. Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice, man. That's great to hear, buddy. That's I can't wait to see what you're going to do at Buffalo. Buffalo had a heck of a season, this past year. Big bowl win. They beat Liberty in their bowl and Bahamas Bowl. So it was really good to see, and they're getting a great addition in you, man. We're going to do just a couple questions here. Now, I seen you, you came in, you did transfer, right, going into your senior season, correct?
I did. To LC Bird.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, LC Bird. And, players from Virginia. I did just, with you being a Virginia guy, I looked up some guys that's been around just, for Virginia. We got Lawrence Taylor, Michael Vick, Bruce Smith, Gerard Mayo, Tiki and Rondé Barber, Tyrod Taylor. So, you've got a long list of guys that you've seen in your backyard grow up to. Is there any, player or anybody that you kind of looked up to growing up that, that you were a fan of?
Like you said, there's a lot of great talent in Virginia. That came out of Virginia. But I would say the one that I, really try to model my game after and look at is Lamar Jackson. I like all the things that he does. Just the way he kind of developed his game, coming into the league and the way he looks now. That's how I see myself. And obviously, I want to do my own thing, but I look at pieces and take things from his game.
Yeah, exactly. And I see a lot of similarities in your game because you're really good with RPO and the back shoulder. And I live in Louisville, so I got to see Lamar up close and kind of got to see him grow up as well. I remember standing next to him in a hibachi line right when he was fresh on campus. And then he wasn't a big recruit. He wasn't a 4- and 5-star recruit, so he was just kind of blending in. And it's crazy to see what happened with his future. And you got multiple MVPs. You got Heisman. Not a bad guy to model your game after. I've kind of seen him mature, and you all got a lot of similarities. Like I said, especially with the RPO and back shoulder. Is that something that you're just always been comfortable with, your back shoulder throws? Is that something you just kind of always had a knack for?
Honestly, any throw. I feel like I'm a natural thrower. My first love was baseball, so that's about all you do in that. So I think that's where it comes from.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. And I think because I'm a little older than you, I'm 29, but back then the quarterbacks held the ball up high by their ear. That's how you were supposed to hide it by your ear, 7-step drops. That's only the way it was played back then. But now you've kind of seen players like yourself that are transitioned from baseball, and you kind of have a closer, compact, more release. You're able to kind of whip it and get more torque on it. So that's kind of the good evolution, and you're a perfect explanation of an example of it because your release is real tight, and you throw it with your chest, and as opposed to the whole wind up and the whole 80s, 90s boring pocket drop back.
Right.
with you had a lot of great teammates too at LC Bird. I seen you had some guys on defense that were tough. Is there any teammates that you kind of want to give a shout out to that you're going to miss playing with? That you were able to rock with out with your senior year.
Definitely. My running backs, Corey Holland, Sir Paul Cheeks. Corey, he's been my guy. Like I met him in third grade, and
Oh,
I've known him for a long time. So we've been best friends, and really like the majority of my team. Like you said earlier, I transferred in. This is my first year with that team, and I just was able to make so many new connections and bonds when I got there.
yeah, and then because you're obviously like a cool dude, and you're a quarterback, everybody's going to gravitate towards around you. I played with a really good quarterback, and anytime you got a talented quarterback, everybody's just going to rally around you. They're your number one fan. Like I promise you, your high school, your buddies from high school, your teammates, man. When you make it, it's like they make it because when your quarterback's got a clean jersey at the end of the game, it feels like it's just better on you. So
Exactly.
they'll never forget playing with you, man. No matter who you played with from grade school, middle school, high school, they'll never forget playing with Jason Wright. And they're going to see you on TV and be like, man, I used to play with that dude, and man, he used to kill us, or man, he used to throw me tutties. We've seen you had a lot of breakout performances. I mean, you had a crazy game there. Then you had a 355-yard game, 3 total touchdowns one game. I mean, you just were lighting it up all year. We put you as our player of the week one week. Was that kind of your best performance, you think, throughout your senior season?
Honestly, I think it's up there. We won that game. It was supposed to be like a hyped up type matchup, and to come out and make that performance is nice to do for sure.
And that
So I
was a
think
school record, right? That was a school record, right?
it was. LC Bird is known for running the ball a lot, so yes, sir, it is.
Hey, you 355. It's nothing to just It doesn't matter if you run the ball, throw the ball. 355, man. I mean, you're doing work out there, and
Right.
that's why Buffalo went ahead and took a chance on you. It's what I want to get into here. Looking back on your high school career, you're able to have a crazy foundation, and young kids growing up, it's harder than ever to go D1, right? I mean, with transfer portal and their roster cuts. What's something that you want to leave to the young kids that are trying to go to D1 that they've seen Jason Wright do it? They know it can be done. If there's a kid out there that thinks he's being under recruited, because your offer, you got in committed, but with your senior year, that's big. You didn't have to wait around too much. What would you tell a young kid that was like your X factor of just grinding, something you did extra, something that they could be doing that that could maybe get them to that next level?
Definitely. I feel like personally I was under recruited until my junior year. Like I didn't start getting any offers until then. So I'd honestly just say stay committed and trust the process. Because when it comes, it comes.
Yep.
You're a baller, they're gonna find you. And I feel like if you just stay committed to your craft, go to camps, especially like get in front of the coaches, then it's gonna come.
Exactly. And then it's hard because you got a million camps you can go to, right? You can spend, because money's tight. Money's tight. These camps aren't cheap, and you could spend all your money and not get in front of the right coaches. So what you said is perfect. That's what I always tell kids when I went to camps. You really want to get in front of actual coaches you want to play for, because those bigger, higher D1 camps, they got schools from everywhere. I think Boston College is having a camp, and I think there's going to be 90 schools there. He invited everybody. It doesn't matter which level you are. So exactly, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's good to get your name out there. You can send your film out, but recruiting for these coaches is as easy as it's ever been. Back in my day, they had to get in their car, drive to the school, and kind of flip over rocks. Now they get film tweeted to them all day, and they just can scroll, scroll, scroll. So I'm glad you say that, getting to some camps and stuff like that. But you're going to Buffalo, man. You was able to kind of get committed. You were racking up FCS offers in the summer, kind of right after we met there at Elite 11, was keeping an eye on you. When you got that Buffalo offer, what really stood out to you? Is there something you kind of felt there? Or what stood out? It's like, all right, man, this is my home.
I think it was just the way they treated me. You want to go somewhere that you're loved and that they actually want you there. Um, and that's what I felt when I got there. And I feel like what really told me like this is a place I want to be was on my OV when It's different seeing the love on paper over the phone and stuff, but actually showing it in person and feeling it and and realizing, okay, this is the place where I want to be. Um, I just That's what showed me.
Yeah, and then you picked a great program, and like I said, I think it's a great trade-off. They picked a great player. They had a great year, 9-4. They've had 34 players go to the league. I looked up 17 that have been drafted. They have Khalil Mack, high as number 5, getting drafted. Last player they got drafted was 2023. They're Charlie Jones, but we got draft coming up here. They beat Liberty 26-7 in the Bahamas Bowl. What do you think that you're kind of wanting to prove, I guess, to everyone there once you get to Buffalo, or just about the program in general? A lot of people that know ball know that the MAC has some really good offensive talent, high scoring games, good offense. Is that something you kind of want to prove? Like I know we're at Buffalo, but we got some serious ball here.
Exactly. I'm gonna prove that we can ball with anybody. It doesn't matter if it's Mac or if any. It doesn't matter. I feel like
Yeah.
we got a baller. I mean, a great team. Then it doesn't matter who you face, and I feel like that's what we have here.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you committed, I kind of kept an eye on them. I was like, all right, let's see what they do. And I've seen Buffalo. They had some crazy comeback wins. You talk about a team that didn't quit last year. They never quit. They came out with some really crazy wins, and they're a program you can never count out. I mean, they have guys. I was just at the Senior Bowl. Me and Dalton was there all 2 weeks ago, and there's guys from everywhere. I mean, there's guys from the MAC. There's guys from, Pac-12, or not Pac-12 anymore, Mountain West, Big 12. It really doesn't matter. Like you said, if you're a baller, they're going to find you. And it's pretty crazy. And you come from, man, I really want to mention here and get your thoughts on, you come from a great home, because I was blessed to meet your parents there at Elite 11. And they did a great job, man. I do want to say congrats. And you come from a great home. So you really, not a lot of people, and a lot of people do have a great supporting cast around them. What did that really feel like? Did that kind of make you feel extra better than just how you have such a good supporting cast behind you? Does that kind of relieve anything, or just want you to go harder for them?
Definitely, I feel like they've helped me through so much, and not just football related, but just as a young man and in life. And I feel like you know to have that behind you, that supporting cast behind you, I feel like it's just I'm so blessed and grateful for that.
Yeah, and they believe in you, man. And when you're a quarterback, as anyone knows, especially at any level, especially if you're a quarterback, you have to have an insane amount of confidence, almost to brinking delusion. You have to be no task is tall enough. You can overcome anything, and they've instilled that into you greatly. Just talking to your mother throughout the season, anytime you had a big game, she's one of the first ones. Every time we post, she's I believe in him. He can do it. I'm like, I know he can. He's got it. And man, I really, it's great to see guys with such a great supporting cast, and you all are really close, and you can really see that you all are really tight. So I know they'll be at some games here, many games throughout the years. Is there anybody at home, that's maybe not your teammates, friends, family, since you're back, already up in Buffalo, getting that work in, that you want to give a shout out to, that's kind of always been there for you?
I got to think. Like I said earlier, Corey, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Um, Known him for a long time. I think he's gonna be committing soon too, so be on the
Uh-oh.
lookout for that.
Okay.
Um, I can't really think of anything else right now.
You're close. You're close knit, man. Friends, family, and teammates, man. That's all you need. I mean, your teammates become your family, and you're building up a whole new family right now in Buffalo, and you're getting a whole new set of brothers, which is really cool. And you're at the most important position. You're the ringleader, and you got to lead by example. Even though you just got on campus, I know you gotta get after it and get at it. Now, with you being in the MAC, man, you're gonna be playing through the week a lot. I noticed in Virginia, you all sometimes played on a Thursday, right?
We did occasionally.
Yeah, that was cool. I never saw anybody play on Thursday, and I know some people have a hard time adjusting playing from nights to mornings. Some people have just, I don't know. Sometimes it's just people like playing at nights. I think it's going to be cool. You're going to be playing through the week, and the MAC really gets a lot of guys drafted because they're one of the only teams playing through the week. So that's going to be really cool. Anything in Buffalo that you've been really taking, you by storm? Anything that's kind of turned your head in Buffalo that you've enjoyed? Any good spots you like eating at, or what have you been enjoying, since you've been up there?
So far I've been just like staying locked in. I can't really say I've been doing too much out here other than just football and school, really. But
Yeah. And what's your major?
business and finance.
Awesome, awesome, man! Congratulations, bro. And that's like life after football, man. It's a real good thing, and you come from a great home, so I'm not surprised at all. But I've played with a guy that made it all the way to the league, third round pick, and he's got his degree as well. He even knows how important it is to get that locked in. He actually works for NFLPA now and like helping guys transition from playing to life after football. So you always got to have to think, and with you having business and with football being a business now, you can have that business degree and keep it within football. All these colleges have GMs now, and it's crazy how it's kind of changed. And you're kind of in the midst of it. You've been a part of that change.
Right.
What is the biggest, fondest memory you're going to look back at your high school career? Now that you've moved on.
My fondest memory,
Yep.
I would say, apart from the game, I've had a couple game winners, but the late night, I think it was the I want to say the Thursday, just right before the game. We all went to get pizza,
Mm.
as a team. I feel like that was just I love that. It was on the coach. Shout out Coach Bland. I didn't say that earlier. Coach Bland,
Shout out Coach Bland.
and he got us all right with the pizza, and it was really good.
And those are the best memories, that little stuff, man. Because you go through all the hard work. Anybody that's played knows, or even with media these days, you really don't have to play, but to get a good explanation of what's going on with Hard Knocks and stuff behind the scenes like that, of how much work goes into the summer and how much you guys sweat together, bleed together, and it's just not overnight. The hard work is in right now in these months when it's cold out. This is where you get wins in the summer. This is where you get the wins in September, October. It's right now. And anybody that's played knows that. And you, like you said, those little moments with your team, it's so special because you only have so many of them. And with you being in the transfer portal era, your team kind of changes a little bit more than it should, or than you're used to. So that's good that you like to hold on to those little moments, man, because that's what it's all about. Because you stack up about little moments, and they stack up to big moments. And like I said, I was at the Senior Bowl a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, wouldn't be surprised we're going to see Jason here in a few years, and it's going to be pretty cool. It'll be a full circle moment, man. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we, you see there. But we are going to let you go here shortly, man. But a couple of things I want to, before we let you go, is any advice you want to give to a quarterback, any advice you want to give to someone that, like you said, is feeling like they're under-recruited, and just kind of some motivation to keep their head up and keep it pushing.
All right, so kind of egging on what I said earlier, I feel like
Mhm.
if you're a player, they're gonna find you, and I know that sometimes you can feel like he's gonna offer, he's gonna offer. Like I feel like I'm better than him, or like why do I not have any offers?
Mhm.
And I feel like you can just trust in the process and putting yourself in those positions where you can be recruited, and the coaches will find you, and don't get down on yourself.
Feel it. Feel it. Now, did you catch? Obviously, I assume you did. But what did you think about the Super Bowl, man? Do you have any thoughts on the three-peat not happening? How'd you think it went? Was you surprised at all? I know
Yeah,
I was.
I wasn't surprised by the outcome, but the score I was surprised by. Honestly,
Dude,
I was shocked.
it
But
was crazy, man. I mean, if you really look on paper, Eagles had the better team,
right,
offensive line, defensive line. Kansas City's got a lot of guys that have been ones in the past, but they didn't really have a true one wide receiver out on the outside, and that kind of came to bite him. And Mahomes, first time he's really had pressure like that in his face on a consistent basis throughout the game. And man, it was really crazy to see. And out of those games, is there anything that you kind of like that you thought were keys to the game? Like obviously turnovers, used, but the quarterback knows, especially if you hand the ball to the other team, it's not going to go well. But is there anything that you saw from a quarterback standpoint, that next level, like analysis of the game that you saw where Philly just got after him at?
Really, I'll just say the offensive line. They were getting a lot of pressure. The Sweat guy, I forgot his first name, but I know his last name is Sweat. He was balling.
Okay.
If it wasn't Jalen Hurts for the MVP, I got him honestly. But
Yeah.
and
That D
also,
line from Philly. Go ahead, man.
oh yeah, and also I'd say like taking advantage of like the beginning of the game. I feel like Kansas City just kind of played it really slow and kind of let it get out their hands. I feel until the last second. So
Yeah, they couldn't really turn the last second heroics. They didn't have enough time this time because with this anytime with playoff football, especially the Super Bowl, that game slows down, so much. Especially with you having a postseason run, your possessions are limited in the playoffs. So anytime you turn the ball over, it's like you turned it off twice because
yeah,
you're not going to be able to get the ball as quick as you usually got it throughout the season. The clock's going to keep on running, even though they're playing commercials every 2 seconds. But
exactly. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see what's going to come on next season. I mean, it's wide open. I was just talking to my buddy earlier. We're probably going to see about 6, 7 teams in the NFL with new quarterbacks. So
yeah.
it's going to be a lot of turnover this year. I know everyone's fighting over Cam Ward, Shadur. I'm a fan of both of them. I like both of them. I think they both have good upside. If you was a GM right now, who would you choose if you just had to choose a quarterback right now? You're taking off the board first.
Right now, I would say Cam Ward. I feel like the experience and everything he's been through will kind of carry him in the next level. He knows how to deal with the adversity. And for Shador Sanders, he is a great player, but I haven't seen, like the different schemes or offenses that he's had to do. I don't know. That's just my take on it. But I got Cam Ward.
I got you. And like we do know Daryl Colbert there's training Cam Ward right now, getting him for the draft there with select QBs. Shout out to him. You're right, man. Cam Ward, that ball just pops off a little bit differently. That little X factor, that zip that he has is something different, man. Like you said, he's had the trials and tribulations of not having any offers coming out, starting at Incarnate Word, and he's played in a lot of systems with a lot of players. We was able to interview Xavier Restrepo, one of his receivers from Miami last year, and he was just talking about how great it was to play with him, man. He's a really tough receiver too. So yeah, man, I think there's a lot of great future that's been coming up. Your quarterback class just across the nation was absolutely loaded. I mean, there's a lot of guys that's coming out. But man, I saw you on the same field with the number 2 rated, number whatever rated. I think through the camp you was at Elite 11. I know there was about 6 or 7 of the top 30s. And man, you held your own right there with them. I'm telling you, like this recruiting class is so big, these numbers don't mean nothing because I saw Jason Wright go in there and spinning just as good as everybody else. Got the 5 stars and all that other stuff. So, and like I said, with you being a quarterback, you know that. I'm telling you something you already know. With you having to have that upper level confidence in yourself and belief, but it's also good with me being the media side now, not playing anymore, is to let kind of do that talking for you and let these people know Jason Wright's a baller. He's coming for it, and Buffalo is coming for it.
Yes,
So I can't wait to see what's coming on, man. I'll get to look out for some links of NIL stuff. If you got any merch, definitely I'll definitely get that. I'm trying to get up to a game. Me and Dalton might come and catch a game here very soon. And I know with these programs I know with Nebraska, Matt Rule's talking about how he might not have a spring game. Have that heard anything from you all in Buffalo? Or are you all still planning to have a spring game?
we still plan on having a spring game for sure.
Cool. I was hoping so, man, because that's a good part of the season where you see your depth and see what you got and see those plays that were good against air, and you want to get a little crowd on them. So it's always good for football. And that spring game's important, man. I know we're getting lost in the dollars here. A lot of people are with if it's not making money, then why not do it? I get it, kind of. But that spring game's important, and it's good for the fans, and it's good just to get some good looks. But before we get you out of here, man, I do want to add it's been really good to watch your growth and just getting started on your collegiate career. Like you said, you're already up in Buffalo early in Row League. I'm so excited to see where the future takes you. And, man, I really want to talk to you soon before the season starts and kind of get an update on you, brother.
All right, that sounds good. I appreciate you having me up here.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure. Everyone, give it up for Jason Wright. We are on all platforms, man, and we'll be seeing you soon. All right, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. I'll talk to you, buddy. Thank
All
you.
right.